Yo, what is up, guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys, on my lovely day off. And today we're back at Mindgames yet again. I am going to review the other half of two of their latest releases, of course, related to one another. And I did review one half of it, Kingside. Today I will review, obviously, Queenside. So for those of y'all that are curious about this fragrance, let's talk about it right here. Let's go. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys, okay? Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel as we head towards 27K. So please continue all your support, guys. Deep dive into my over now 900 videos. We're at the 900th video. This is 901. And please shop at our affiliate links as well as with our friends of the channel like NOWICKI. Thank you so much for all your support. And the fragrance that we'll be talking about today is none other than Mindgames Queenside. Yes, Mindgames Queenside. And this decant was sent to me by one of our good friend of the channel, NOWICKI from NOWICKI Decants. We do have a discount code as well as a free shipping code for $50 and up that I will put below right here for NOWICKI Decants. Thank you again, Mike. And he did send this to me alongside Kingside and I did review Kingside a few days ago, maybe like a week ago, and I found that a beautiful unisex fragrance. All right, that one was kind of like a combination of Yum Pistachio as well as Sergioff Italica down the line, put simply. But this Queenside, I really wondered as well if this was going to be a fragrance that is unisex as well. Would this be a queen fragrance that can be used by the kings, or is this also, you know, just straight up a femme fragrance? All right, there's a lot of, you know, rumors out there, a lot of feedback out there. So of course today I am gonna give my own no hype feedback right here. Let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, guys, now let's talk about this fragrance right here, the latest, or one of the two latest fragrances coming out of Mindgames Queenside. And for those that are curious, this is the first time you've been to the channel, heard about me talk about Mindgames. My favorite Mindgames fragrance, by the way, so far has to be Gambit. All right, and I did a review on that. If you guys want to check that, I'll link that at the end of this video. Now let's talk about this opening right here, guys. This opening, definitely fruity. It's got a very nice fruity and fresh opener, but then of course evolves into almost like a gradient down the line even on this opening, guys. All right, so you have the notes of lychee, definitely a nice fruity note that, I mean, people have been using a lot, or a lot of brands have been using a lot lately. You've got black currant and you've got pear. All right, now all of these are fruity notes, but of course multi-dimensional once they're put together. Black currant is also somewhat tart and slightly woody, and then you have, of course, lychee, which has its own unique fruity smell. I would say femme leaning is this lychee right here, and then you've got black currant and of course a nice, I wouldn't say super tart, but a nice sweet pear. All right, tertiary to all the three notes. Now this opening, of course, to me smells straight up femme. All right, and that's because it's lychee, and I know there's lychee in other fragrances that are unisex, but there's no real balancer. All right, the pear as well as the black currant, really all they do is support the tartness and the sweetness of this lychee, but the lychee is gonna be the most prominent one right here, very femme leaning from the start. And you know, once I smelled this, I was like, well, this intro is definitely a queen's perfume. It's not really a unisex, you know, maybe it could be like a man's, you know, fruity perfume. But to me, that's what it was. But it's definitely fresh. It's definitely fruity. There's no really gradient until we get into the latter stages of this fragrance. So to me, it's a nice, fresh, fruity, femme-leaning start. Okay, now let's talk about initial sillage and projection of Queenside. This had some really nice projection. This is one of those that actually has a scent trail. And I know that that matters to women. more than the guys, I think. I mean, I don't know about you guys, the men watching, I mean, the scent trail really matter. But to me, when it comes to women's fragrances, scent trail matters. And this one definitely has one. When you walk around with this one, and I did walk around with this one, people will catch wafts of, you know, your fragrance in the air. And I know that's kind of like a must for a lot of women that, you know, walking around with their own fragrances. Definitely this one does it. Definitely has that fruitiness wrap around you as you are walking around right here. So I would say beautiful sillage and projection on this one. Okay, now let's head into the mid of Mindgames Queenside. Now, right here in the mid, the most prominent note is gonna be violet. All right, and if you know you're violet, this is your conditioner like, candy like violet, right? Depending on how you you know, interpret violet when you smell it. But violet is definitely going to be the most prominent note here in the mid, and that to me really sealed the deal that this is a femme leaning fragrance, because you're going from lychee with almost no balancers and a lot of tartness and fruitiness going into candy like violet. We're kind of like the same thing, no masculine leaning balancers on this one. And with this violet, you get geranium as well as lily of the valley. And geranium is also kind of like almost like a rosy type of smell. And the geranium, what it does is that within the mid, it actually goes into that sunset gradient, kind of like a darker gradient as we go into the dry down. But you also have a fresh lily of the valley note that balances it all out. So although you might have like a darker geranium and a solar lily of the valley, and of course violet is going to be the constant here, conditioner like sweet violet from that lychee, in the end, really, this mid is pretty balanced, I would say. It's not as fresh as the intro, but still sweet, still, you know, balanced down the line, floral, and again, to me, very, very femme leaning. Okay, and finally, let's look at the dry down of Mindgames Queenside. Right here in the dry down, you got patchouli, oak moss, and musk, all right? Now, patchouli is really, to me, and I've said this before, kind of like a common sense like ending or dry down note to anything kind of rosy, whether you have rose or geranium. And that's really what it is. So this geranium goes into your, you know, dark, woody, tenacious, earthy patchouli with that oak moss and musk. Now, one thing I will say that although these are the dry down notes, violet and geranium here in Queenside is so power packed and so concentrated, or there's a really nice amount of it, that it actually bleeds into the dry down. Okay, that is something I will say, because usually at the 6 or 7 hour mark, really the dry down notes unravel. But in this case, because it seems like you got a stronger concentration of these two notes, you do smell the violet and the geranium still with sweetness and dark florals down the line into the dry down of Queenside. Therefore, making it pretty linear once the mid hits, and this goes all the way into the dry down as well. So although you've got your standard patchouli, your musk, your oak moss, it's not going to be like fully like woody and earthy, because you will get to smell remnants still of that violet as well as that geranium. So that, I will say, doesn't go full into like woody and musky, maybe really down the line, but it's still gonna be sweet and it's still gonna be dark floral towards the end of Queenside. Okay, so what do I think of this fragrance, Mindgames Queenside? Okay, this, like I said, is going to be for me a true femme leading fragrance. And you know, no matter, you know, some people will say it might be unisex, but to me that's my opinion after testing this. The notes make sense as well, the way that it evolves from one stage to another and how the notes unravel. The consistency of the violet, the lychee, definitely, you know, makes this a nice femme leaning scent. But what kind of femme leaning scent are we looking at here? To me, this is a femme leaning scent that can be worn by young to maybe middle aged women. All right, so it's not a mature scent. This is something that the young bucks can wear, and I know this is kind of expensive, but you know, women actually right now are paying that much anyways for perfume, Le Labos and Byredos and such, Mindgames. So you know, this fragrance is definitely, this could be one of your, you know, flirty and fruity and sassy types of perfumes. But also, because eventually we go into violet and geranium, as well as musk and patchouli, this can also be worn. It feels like it could be balanced out for like maybe like a career woman who's in her mid 30s or early 30s could wear something like this because it's also like it starts off really, you know, youthful, kind of like youthful and vibrant, and then it goes into kind of like a balanced state where like I feel, you know, anybody on that age range can actually wear that. Even if you're like, you know, 35, career woman, you want to wear it to like a high level meeting, or you want to wear it to a very, very classy joint, this is definitely going to be wearable right here. So I would say grabber to upscale grabber on this fragrance. And when it comes to weather and climate, this one right here I would say is more for cool weather, although I can say that you can wear this anytime. Okay, you can definitely wear this even in the summer if you want to, but because of that mid going to that dry down, I would say this is like AC environments, indoor AC environments, cool to cold weather. That's the best climate for me, in my opinion, to wear this fragrance right here, Mindgames Queenside. So this one has a very wide range of usages. The only thing I will say is that there's that redundancy factor. So definitely, in my opinion, try this fragrance from Michael Nowicki, because, you know, there's a lot of fragrances that are competing in this market. Fresh, fruity, you know, gradient type of floral fragrances for women. I feel like it's almost all of them actually. So definitely try this from Mike. Okay, now total performance on this fragrance. One thing I will say about this one is that it is super long lasting. All right, for me, past 12 hours. Like I said, I felt like the violet geranium combo in that mid was so packed with power and content that it went all the way past 12 hours. All right, pushed this fragrance past what I thought it would do. So it is a very, very long lasting femme fragrance, again with a scent trail, and that's only from this itty bitty sprayer right here. But can you imagine from a full bottle, which would actually spray a lot more juice, in my opinion, that would give you a lot more performance. But for me, just on this, it was over 12 hours easily on this one. Okay, and finally, let's look at the price of Mindgames Queenside, and is it a full bottle worthy fragrance? So we all know this one here is expensive. I mean, presentation is great though, but $475, add the tax, it'll be like 500 plus. Very, very expensive indeed. And like I said, it's very crowded. This space of fruity floral fragrances with violet is, in my opinion, this is very, very saturated, very crowded in this market. And, you know, to be honest, I feel, you know, women's fragrances are kind of stuck right now. I mean, I've yet to smell an actual femme fragrance. I would say, wow, that is really like out of this world new, because really at this point we are just floating around fruity floral to vanilla, right? Vanilla fragrances, gourmand. It seems like it's like rotating in that whole sphere right there. And this definitely is, you know, could be redundant to your other perfumes, and that is why you should get a decant from Michael Nowicki and try it first before committing freaking $400, $500 into a fragrance that could smell like one of your other fruity floral fragrances. That I will say, because I feel like if you are a woman that collects a lot of fragrances, maybe you have something like this. I mean, you know, this is something that could be redundant. So try this first. Hit up Mike Nowicki, go into his site. He's got more decants than this though. And if you bundle it up, use our discount code, free shipping, you'll get that. And then of course you'll get access to a lot of his other decants, you know, which is really great. It's a huge library. So in my opinion, test this out first before you buy. And that is it. That is my no hype review on this latest Mindgames fragrance right here, Queenside. If you are interested in watching Kingside, which in my opinion is unisex, women can wear Kingside, by the way, hint, hint. Get on that video. I will link that at the end of the channel, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance right here. I'm definitely curious if y'all thought that this is more of like, you know, a unisex one. I've really floated that idea, but every time I've worn this, really, you know, a lot of the notes make sense that it is a femme-leaning extrait de parfum fragrance. Amazing performance though. So let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys on the next video. I should be getting Blue Talisman soon, the extrait, as well as the Bleu de Chanel that you guys are very heavily requesting. I will get that. Trust me, I am one of the biggest fans of Bleu de Chanel. I still have the first edition bottle somewhere here in my closet. I mean, that thing has done wonders for me in my early adulthood. Okay, so can't wait to do that as well. I will see you guys on the next video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. God bless. Take care. Peace.